This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1181. How much protein do you really need? Part 1 by Serdar Tuncali of nerdgettingfit.com. And I'm your host and narrator, Dr. Neil Malik. Hey there, happy middle of the week Wednesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I read to you from popular health and fitness blogs to help you optimize your health. And since it's Wednesday, and like I do every Wednesday, since it's the middle of the week, we may need a little bit of extra motivation to get us through these last couple of days. So I like to share an inspirational quote with you. And here's the one for this week. Quote, improvise, adapt, overcome. The mission of the U.S. Marine Corps. Now, today I have a bit of a longer post. So I'll read the first half today and then finish the rest for you tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to part 1 and start optimizing your life. How much protein do you really need? Part 1 by Serdar Tuncali of nerdgettingfit.com. Protein is often considered to be the most important macronutrient. Especially if your goal is to lose fat and build muscle, designing your meal plan around protein is a smart approach, among other things. If you follow a bodybuilder's advice, the recommended protein amount goes up to 2 to 3 grams per pound of body weight. Once, a supplement store employee told me that I should be eating at least 500 grams of protein to get results. That's 2.5 grams of protein per pound of my body weight. However, the recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for protein is only 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, or 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. Why is there such a big difference between these recommendations? What is protein? Protein in the context of food is one of 3 macronutrients found in foods. Calorie-containing foods have one or a combination of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. We use protein to build bones, muscles, connective tissue, hair, etc. Animal products and most plants contain some form of protein. Proteins are made up of a combination of amino acids. Depending on the food source, certain amino acids can be abundant or scarce. Since every amino acid has a different role in the body, not every protein is created equal. However, every protein has the same amount of calories. 1 gram of protein contains 4 calories. The recommended dietary allowance for protein is calculated based on the maintenance of our body's functions. Again, this means you need 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to stay alive and healthy. So for a 70 kilogram or 154 pound man, this amounts to 56 grams of protein per day. For a 60 kilogram or 132 pound woman, this amounts to about 48 grams of protein per day. How much protein for muscle building? If your goal is to build muscle, the recommended dietary allowance is not going to be enough. You need to consume extra protein to be used for muscle building. We build muscle by challenging them to grow. After every workout, you create micro tears in the muscle. Over time, these tears are repaired and muscles get bigger and stronger to meet the demands. During this process, the body uses ample amounts of protein or amino acids. In the hierarchy of needs in the body, muscle building is not on the top of the list. Therefore, the protein you consume will be used primarily to keep you alive and healthy. If there's any protein left over, only then the muscle building process will be activated. One of the most popular names in the bodybuilding world, Jim Stoppani, recommends you need to get 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For a regular person that eats meals 4 to 5 times a day, this number is very difficult to achieve. In fact, this number is not easy to achieve for bodybuilders either. That's why they reach for a protein shake a few times a day to reach these protein goals. Coincidentally, Dr. Stoppani owns a supplement line and sells protein powders. I don't know if the high protein recommendation is a marketing ploy for his protein powder. Maybe he actually believes this recommendation and created his protein powders to help people reach the level of protein he recommends. I don't know about you though. I don't believe you need that much protein to build muscle. I personally prefer to look at what actual scientists say, rather than supplement owners. In a review by Brad Schoenfeld and Alan Aragon, the authors conclude that daily protein intakes of 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight maximizes muscle building. To convert this into pounds of body weight, you would want to consume 0.72 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. How much protein for weight loss? What if your goal is to lose weight? Do you still need to eat high amounts of protein? The simple answer is not necessarily, but it helps. If your goal is to lose weight, you need to create a consistent calorie deficit. That is, to eat fewer calories than you burn. Whatever diet you follow, there is no other way around it. Consistent calorie deficits, no matter from what macronutrients you eat, eventually puts the body under stress. Evolutionarily speaking, the body doesn't want to lose weight. It is a threat to life. Therefore, as you lose weight, your body's going to try to defend against more weight loss in various ways. This phenomenon is often labeled as starvation mode, but in reality, it is a healthy response mechanism called adaptive thermogenesis. In order to counter this metabolic slowdown, you want to take measures to increase metabolism. Hear how on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, How Much Protein Do You Really Need? By Serdar Tuncali of nerdgettingfit.com. Thank you to Everlywell. I've had both friends and family go through a series of issues without knowing what the root cause was, and many of the tests they took could have been done at home. I got my cholesterol and lipids test so that I could get information from the comfort of my home. A great way for me to check how I'm doing and get personalized, easy-to-understand results digitally. Everlywell offers over 30 at-home lab tests where you can test for thyroid health, women's health, heart health, and more. Collect samples in the comfort of your home, and your results will be available within days, where you can also share your results with your healthcare provider. Plus, your results are reviewed by a board-certified physician. To start better understanding your health like I did, check out Everlywell today. For 20% off an Everlywell at-home lab test, visit everlywell.com/OHD and enter code OHD. That's everlywell.com/OHD, code OHD for 20% off your test. Everlywell, at-home lab tests. Your answers, your way. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. I loved that Serdar mentioned how important it is to consider the source before following anyone's health advice. He mentioned that someone with a side business of selling protein supplements may not be the most unbiased source when it comes to giving advice about protein recommendations. Here's the deal. Too much protein can also be converted to fat. The body is really good at taking any macronutrient, carbs, fat, protein, and storing it as fat. As Serdar mentioned, it helps ensure our survival. Fat is a concentrated source of calories, and our bodies can store it really easily. So it's great for hanging on to when we don't know when our next meal is going to happen. So our bodies have figured out a way to store excess carbs, fat, and again, yes, protein, as fat in case we need them as fuel for later. And again, as Serdar said, you can't just eat more protein and expect your muscles to grow. You have to first create a demand for their growth, and that only comes after working them. You have to use them. Then and only then will consuming that extra protein each day actually help you to build muscle. All right, that'll do it for another edition of Optimal Health Daily. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where we'll finish up this post and where your optimal life awaits.